What's up, everybody? It's the Bipolar Prophet, and welcome back to American Truck Simulator, or again, in this case, Australian Truck Simulator. We're on another fantastic Australian theme map. This one is Project Straylia by a guy called Venom. It amazes me that there's not one but two really good Australian theme maps. This one is more about, at least from what I get from it, I've been on it for about 3 days now. More about the overall Australian experience. There's more pavement driving, more bitumen. There is gravel, as you can see. We're sitting on gravel now. There's defined towns. The level of detail on both these maps is fantastic. This one has a lot of signs and things on the side of the road. This one has kangaroos as well, as the Australian Outback map did. No cows and no camels yet, but who knows? You know, this is being actively updated. I was actually waiting for this map to update because I was interested in the differences between them. And this map just recently got updated to 1.43. So I said, "Oh, we gotta have a go with this, right?" I've been on, like I said, for about 3 days now, and I really enjoy it. You know, there are subtle differences. The roads are a bit wider on this map. There's maybe less gravel driving, although there is some, as you can see. I'm sitting here on gravel now. There's defined towns. You know, it's really good. The level of scenery and detail on both these maps are fantastic. It just amazes me. We're in such a great place for truck sims now. You know what I mean? We have all these really cool places we can drive all over the world. You know, Europe and America and Australia, and you know, there's a really cool South American map kicking around out there. There's a really good Alaskan map kicking around out there. You know, so one big difference between this map and the Australian Outback map is this one is free. The creator Venom does have a Patreon page, but you don't have to pledge to him to get the download. You can get the download for free. He has a Discord. I'll put all this stuff in the description of the video. I wanted to make this video for a couple reasons. One is because I really enjoy driving on this map, and two is because Johnny V, you wanted to see a right-hand drive truck in Australia, which is how it would be in the real world, right? All the trucks in Australia are right-hand drive, and there's just not that many right-hand drive trucks for American Truck Simulator. Obviously, American Truck Simulator originally was created to be driven in America, where they're all left-hand drive trucks, and ATS doesn't really like right-hand drive. But the creator of this truck, this is a Mack Superliner by Kiso Shadow Walker. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. It's a payware truck, but it's really, really good. And he figured out how to make this right-hand drive. There are some compromises you have to sort of accept when you do something that the game's not really designed to do, but they're very minor and they don't detract from the experience of the truck in any way. So what are we doing? We are hauling 73 tons of gravel out of this gravel pit. This is in a place called Fraser Range. This is Western Australia. To the city or big town of Norseman, Western Australia, in this really cool Mack Superliner. This has Zmod's Cat C16 sounds in it. It's an 800 horsepower Cat engine. Also, if you take a look at it, you can see that I've been working on some dirt, sort of worn look skin, right? I'm not 100% happy with it. It's kind of my first go with this sort of thing for truck sims. I've done it in other sims before, but for a truck sim, you know, I'm still trying to figure out exactly how the dirt would fly around, and it's not orange enough. Obviously, a lot of this dirt would be orange. So, you know, it's getting there though, and I like it right now. I came up with a real quick sort of out and back transport, right? Just pick the town on the map and based it there, and you know, just to play on words. Thought it would be some fun. So Johnny V, this one's for you, my man. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy it. This is a right-hand drive Mack Superliner, hauling 73 tons of gravel. Let's get in the truck and fire her up. So here we are inside the Mack Superliner. Go ahead and get this thing fired up. So, Cat C16, big old 800 horsepower Aussie spec engine. Obviously makes a ton of power. You need it for this. You know, we're hauling 73 tons of gravel, right? You need some big horsepower for it. It's interesting because I've spent so much time driving left-hand drive trucks on the left side of the road that it's a little weird for me now to drive a right-hand drive truck on the left side of the road. But anyway, it's a short trip. It's only 79 kilometers, mostly bitumen, and let's get on and see how it goes. I'll give you two to the horn. It's really loud. All right, and we're rolling. One of the things that you sort of immediately learn about this map is that it just feels bigger. It feels more, there's more stuff to the left and right of you than there is in the Outback, in Rob's Outback map. Now, that doesn't take anything away from his map. His map is fantastic. It's amazing looking, and you know, you've got camels and cows that cross the road and stop in the road in front of you and all that. On this, you just have kangaroos that sort of bounce down the sides of the road. You know, but again, the trees, the textures, the weather, the skybox, everything just makes it fit, makes it feel like you're where you're supposed to be. So we're going to be climbing out of this this little valley here where this gravel pit is. Working pretty hard, as you can imagine. One of the compromises you sort of have to accept with ATS and right-hand drive is that you can no longer stick your head out the window. I don't care about that. It doesn't detract my enjoyment of the truck one bit. You know what I mean? I can look out the mirror if I need to. I'm fine with that. So, all right. Here we come back onto the bitumen now. One thing you'll notice, and this may be a regional thing, this is a pretty major highway from what I understand. So, but one thing about this is the roads are a lot wider than they are on Rob V's map. So, although when you're driving one of these things, it doesn't always feel like the roads are wider. All right, here we go. Now I got to remember, I'm gonna have to curb it a little bit here to get this old truck out of here. There we go. When she wants to find a gear. So it's another cool thing about this is the weather. The weather has been edited to fit with where this map is. It's 7:45 in the morning and it's 30 degrees Celsius already. You know, clearly it gets hot in Australia, right? This is southern Australia, southwest Australia. So obviously it's going to be hot, which is a neat thing. Default traffic, you know, ATS traffic, it does run doubles and stuff. Occasionally you'll see a couple of double Wilson cattle trailers going by. You know, 73 tons, it's heavy, sure, but 800 horsepower, not really an issue. It can definitely get up to speed. I'm not as familiar with the road regulations, obviously in Australia, as I am in America. I don't know what, like, the speed limit's 100, right? 100 kilometers an hour. But I don't know if these trucks hauling these road trains would do that. I don't know. I usually get it up to about 80, 85, and I call it a day there. You know, again, traffic whizzing by you, right? Obviously, their speed limit's 110 kilometers an hour. Why wouldn't they go 110 kilometers an hour? They want to get around me. Roo. I know you didn't see it, probably. It bounced by really fast, but that was a Roo bouncing down the right side of the road there. And this is one of the things that I was talking about in the very beginning of this video. It just feels like there's more stuff to the left and the right on this map. You know, it's very intimate on the Outback map. You're out there in the Outback, you're on some gravel road for 100 kilometers. It's fantastic. That's very specifically Outback gravel road driving, that map, right? This one seems to be more about the overall Australian experience. Neither one is better or worse than the other one. They're both fantastic. You know what I mean? And you can drive them both. wouldn't you? I do. I love them both. You know, again, the trees, the colors, the sun, the skybox, it rains, you know. I turned the rain way down on the Australian Outback map because I just don't think it would rain very much out where that map is. This one, it seems like it would rain more, so I left it at the default. It's, you know, a little rain once in a while isn't the worst thing in the world. One thing I really enjoy about this map is there are things to look at on the side of the road. There's signs and there's a really cool stretch of this road that we're not going to see in this video, but that they actually use as a emergency landing strip because it's on what's called a 90-kilometer straight. I guess it's the longest straight road in Australia, and they actually use it as a landing strip for airplanes if emergency services need to get out there, which, you know, that's a neat thing, right? It's one of those, this is the reason why we play these games, to see cool stuff like that. The other thing I really like about this map is the road undulates up and down. It doesn't so much, it's not bumpy as like it is on the Australian Outback map. It just undulates up and down as it would in the real world, right? I mean, you know, it gets hot out here. It's 31 Celsius already at 8 o'clock in the morning. You know, so obviously the road is gonna, you know, is gonna expand and contract and all that sort of thing. You know, and again, the signs, you know, stuff to look at, like that's a federally funded road project. The parking areas on the side of the road, which are very prototypical from what I've seen from pictures and videos of this area of Australia. You know, just really, really well done. Very well detailed. There are some bits that are, you know, obviously ATS, right? But it doesn't, again, it doesn't detract from the overall experience. You don't need to custom build every single plank and every single tree and every single building. You know, you don't need to do that. You can use stuff that's already in the game if you're just looking to fill out an area. Why wouldn't you? Save yourself some time. That way you can spend time on the bits that matter, like this. This obviously matters. This needs to look like this part of Western Australia. And I've never been to Australia, but I tell you what, it feels right. And as you guys know, with me, that's all that matters. Does it feel right? Yes, thank you. I'll have it. This feels right. And the temperature just keeps climbing. It's 32 Celsius. Oh, it's a good thing this truck has good air conditioning. You know, stuff like this giant rock. How about this over here on your right? You know, obviously this car smashed into the back of that road train. Whoops. You know, bad luck. Okay, so we're coming into Norseman now. Now, they would very much like me to not use my engine brake, but I kind of have to slow this big monster down. Now, one of the more interesting things about this map, so whoops, I almost missed my turn. Norseman's a pretty big city, or not a big city, but a pretty big town, right? And the way they get you into this with these road trains is to wheel you back through the back of the town instead of making you go through the dead center of it, right? Which makes a lot of sense when you think about it, because, I mean, yes, okay, so these are, you know, technically a B double setup, a big drawbar on the back trailer, but they're still not the easiest things to maneuver. So why wouldn't you use, you know, some sort of like back access road to get these big trailers in? Just a cool sort of addition. And no traffic on these roads, so on these back roads, so you don't have to worry about that. You know, really short trip, really short video this time. I just wanted to do one real quick for A, for me, B, to show you this great map, and C, to show Johnny V, hey, look, you know, there's a right-hand drive truck in Australia. I really enjoy both of these maps. They both have completely different feels. They both have completely different like things that they do. Like the cliffs on this, I mean, how good is that, right? It's so good. All right, now this is a bit of a trick here, because we've got to cross the railway tracks, and it's a pretty sharp turn to come out of there. And then, of course, this is an uncontrolled crossing, right? So you'd stop, you'd look. There's no trains. At least I haven't seen one. There probably isn't any. It's just the tracks that are modeled. That's the garage directly ahead of us there in Norseman. Now it's the standard default starting garage, right, with the American flag. You know, again, I can live with that. You know, you need to have something. It's a placeholder. So, unlike the Outback map where your garages are basically just big yards, these are actual garages, which I like too. I think that's great. You know, again, more probably simulating the overall experience. I'm going to turn my four-ways on because what ends up happening here is I'll get a car that'll come down here and I won't be able to make a turn. Now, I'm going to say this right off the bat. There's probably very little chance I'm actually going to park this thing because where it has to go is very hard to get it straight when you have to come in at this angle. So I'm going to get it close enough and I'm going to, let it, I'm going to hit enter and be done with it. See, so it wants to go over here, but unfortunately, it's so hard to get it straight. You just don't have enough room to turn. So anywhere near here, hit the enter button and, call it a day. Because that back trailer is never going to get straight in the time I have. Pull it up enough to where I can. Oh, hey, I got it. Wow, how about that? That would be the first time I've ever gotten that. I mean, it isn't perfect, but it'll do. Oh, so there's a better look at the rig we were hauling. These are. I unfortunately don't remember where I got these tippers from, so there probably won't be a link in the description for these. I don't remember. I was just hunting down Australian themed stuff and I happened to find these and they work in 143. So, but everything else I'll have a link for. So anyway, we can go ahead and get back in the truck and shut the truck off and hit the enter button, or the T button, I should say. And there we go. So 82 kilometers, 3 hours and 14 minutes of game time, obviously. 69.7 liters of fuel. These things use a lot of fuel. Made a little money, a little XP, doesn't matter. That's really not why I'm doing this. I'm doing this because I just enjoy driving around it. I'll show you the map real quick, too, since this isn't going to be a super long video. So there's where we are. We are in Norseman. And the map extends out to Madura, which I hope I'm pronouncing correctly. These other two towns and all this stuff down here are just placeholders for now. This is where I would imagine he wants the map to extend out to, So Australia, massive country, right? An entire continent, it's going to take a while. That's okay. I'm really enjoying driving on the parts that are available to be driven on. So I haven't got out to Cocklebiddy or Madura yet, but I will. We'll get out there eventually. So anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed that. As always, let me know what you think. If you have any questions about, what I run or how I play or what my computer specs are or anything like that, or you just want to say hi, you like the video, you don't like the video, please leave me a comment. I read every comment. I try to reply to them all as well. If you like what you see and you're new to the channel and you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Costs nothing. I'm never going to ask you for $1. There's no Patreon. There's no begging for money. There's no ads on the videos. This is all now just about me making videos and enjoying myself doing it. And hopefully you guys enjoy it as well. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching. And this is the Bipolar Prophet saying, see you later.